I'm going to be breaking down how one client paid me almost $10,000 in a single month and how you can get payouts like this by simply changing the way your offer is structured, the way you pitch it, and the way you price. So if you watch this entire video, you're going to learn, again, the exact offer that pays me $100,000 a year in profit. This is not paying any team members. That 8.3K is complete profit into my bank account. The untapped niches for this offer that nobody is talking about right now, exactly how to price this offer and how to validate high ticket, even if you have no case studies, no results, or no sales experience, and why you'll kind of always be broke if you're charging less than $4,000. So this video is especially for people who are currently charging less than $4,000, or you're charging above, you just can't seem to validate or sell it. And bonus for people who stay at the end or near the end, I reveal the exact niche I did this in, which allowed me to scale to 40K a month in the first month of doing it. So let me break down the exact offer, niche, how to do this. And this has also worked for a ton of different people as well. So this isn't just me kind of coming on and waffling about it overall. Okay. Now you need to understand that in 2025, offers, you must be understand what your potential clients are actually looking for, right? Clients are no longer buying just short form content. Clients are no longer buying just running Facebook ads. Clients are no longer buying, hey, I'm going to appointment set for you, but they can just get an appointment setter to do your exact job, okay? Or prospects aren't buying a basic online course if you are a coach, okay? If you want to change into online, online consulting, okay? The market has changed and people become too numb to these offers. Look at how many competitors there are within the market selling the exact same thing, meaning the market just becomes very, very sophisticated to these type of offers. Now, I believe there is a market shift that allow me to do this, which I'm going to be running through due to, a lot of people online, but obviously a lot of attention, and mainly these three people here, right? You need to understand that when these three get a lot of attention online, when they push a certain offer, when they push a certain messaging, for example, to start a Facebook ad, regular SMMA, as you can see, 2 years ago, I revealed a video why I shut that down, is because well, everybody is doing it, selling it to the same people. Now, of course, people say, saturation doesn't exist, but of course it exists. If there's a market and the same people are sending the same messages, the same offer, at some point the market is just going to be like, you know what? I've tried 2 different agencies before. I haven't seen any results. Why are you different? And at the end of the day, you're not different. You're exactly the same as everybody else. Now, most agencies fail, and because they don't have this, is because you need to get paid at least $6,000 a month from one client, because the math simply doesn't make sense otherwise. It doesn't even make sense for you to be running an agency if you're not getting paid at least $6,000 a month from the same client, right? Most people fail because they never do the economic overview of the service, okay? So for example, a lot of you are charging maybe even less than this. Some of you are charging like $1,000, $1,500 a month, but let's say, for example, you're charging $2,000 a month. For most areas in the world, you're going to get taxed at least 20 to 25%. Now, I know that's something that you haven't really thought about yet, and you're kind of like putting that in a way, but tax fucking exists, okay? Just because like you might not have a company yet or whatever, like just because, you haven't made too much money yet, perhaps, or some of you who have made money, you're going to get hit where it hurts very, very soon. Or those of you who has been in the industry for a couple of years, that tax does obviously exist, okay? So that in some areas that's 20%, in some areas that's 25%, in some areas that might be more, some areas that might be less, but minimum you're going to pay, unless you're maybe in Dubai, but even then it's like 13%, I believe. So that knocks your, overall profit down to a $1,500 a month retainer. Okay, cool. Now you've got to pay the team to deliver. Okay, that's going to be, half of that money. Okay, now you drop down to $750 a month from this one client that, by the way, you're doing a ton of work for, is really fucking annoying. And then you have 250. Then you've got to obviously get new acquisition, which takes investing money into to actually get clients. Okay, now your 2K a month retainer all of a sudden is $250 a month in your bank account, which is maybe a dinner in London. It's nothing. Okay, so $250 a month, real cash in your bank, profit per client. Now, no guru has told you this online because they want to make it seem out like that. You can sign a ton of 2K a month retainers. You can buy my course and shit. Like at the end of the day, this exists, and this is why pretty much no one runs this traditional model where they just charge this small amount, because this is fucking real, okay? So most agencies never make it because they either ignore what I just said or they don't really understand it, right? So you're maybe charging $1,000 to $2,000, which is obviously low cash collected, and as we've broken down, it's actually low profit margin. Then you invest into a bad team, or even worse, no team at all, and you just try and learn everything yourself, and you get totally burnt out, and you're actually not even incentivized to do it because none of this cash that you think that you get, right, when the Stripe invoice is paid, is actually going into your bank account, right? It just kind of looks cool on Stripe revenue stats, but if you're like me, I don't give a fuck about how my Stripe looks. I want more cash in the bank, right? So you're not incentivized to actually deliver a good service because there's no money actually kind of flowing in your account. $250, which, like I said, it's kind of just like a dinner with maybe 3 of your friends, right? Then you get poor client results because you're either doing it yourself or you can't afford a team to deliver, and your client churns and you're back at zero. It is so easy to be back at zero. So how exactly do I get paid this from one client, which is all profit, which actually allows me to run a pretty smooth operation? Well, I utilize and leverage the leveraged agency model, right? Where it's high cash collected upfront plus actual amount in your account. So you're actually incentivized to keep getting the client good results and, just enjoy your life overall and actually, get the point of this, okay? Hire a good team /automation/systems. You get the best client results because you actually have cash to deliver the service, because you can't just deliver everything by yourself. And even if you could, you wouldn't be incentivized to do so. And then your client pays you high ticket over and over and over again. That 8K per month is 8K every single month from one client, which is complete profit. Okay. Now, what niche do I think you should do this in? Well, if you've been paying attention, then you know that even Imran Gadzi at this point can't hide from the fact that most people are starting to become very, very aware that the people making big money are selling online courses and they're selling coaching programs. Now, this whole entire launch probably got tens of millions of eyeballs, and this puts a lot of views into the creator/info product space, okay, which increases the quantity within the market. And you really have an advantage time of 1 to 3 months to actually go into this market and take advantage that everyone is pivoting. No one wants to sell to roofing companies anymore. No one wants to sell traditional SMA services because, 1, it doesn't actually make sense, and 2, everybody's getting rich selling info because it's highly profitable, it's highly scalable, and if you can position a service within that, then you're just going to join on with the profit margin and the riches within that. So if you're always positioned in the market in the alignment of the demands and needs of the market, you'll always stand more of a chance to become rich. Now, with launches like this and with, the virality of, for example, growth operating, the type of client I personally choose to work with is, okay, cool. 1, they're easy to get in front of the decision maker, which info companies are. When you're, for example, going after more like B2B companies, even though, coaches can be, they're fucking difficult to get in front of the business owner. You're talking to the assistant, talking to the VA, and it just doesn't really work, right? They're highly scalable and fast, and they're high profit margins, meaning I can actually charge a client. Because when you're working with, for example, local businesses, when you're working with these businesses that have 20% profit margin, you can't really ask for much, because if they're making 10K a month and maybe they're making 30% margin, that's 3K a month. What the fuck are you going to charge? 1K a month? And we've already broken down how if you're getting paid 1K a month, you won't be doing this for a very long time. You're going to have to go get a job, right? And then cool clients who are actually fun to work with, right? And for me, that is info product businesses, because like I said, they have high profit margins, some of them in the 90% profit margin range, meaning they can easily grow to 100K plus a month because they can actually fund cash into getting new clients. And then you can take, for example, 10% of that, and all of a sudden that becomes 10K a month, okay? Instead of having 1K a month, you have 10, okay? So a couple niches that you can go into. Now with niches, it's always keep in mind that there needs to be a financial ROI for the student. So now that we've identified that we need to go into, for example, selling for info product businesses, there needs to be some sort of financial ROI for the students who's going to sell more. Usually a trend/booming factor, because FOMO is just massive when it comes to info. A growing industry, and then the ability for client to charge high ticket prices. We aren't going into low ticket info where it's 25 a month for a school community, because I personally think none of these businesses are even going to be alive in 6 months. You're even seeing now there's such a high churn rate that none of them actually survive. So you want to be going into high ticket clients. For example, one of my clients charges $23,000, which is just obviously insanely high tickets. So you can be really profitable with the ad spend and scale aggressively. And then when it comes to your actual offer, so when it comes to the niches, there's a few niches here. Let me just reveal the niches. If you're in these niches, you're pretty much cooked, right? One of them is musicians, or anything to do with entertainment. When it comes to actually making money, it's very, very difficult to validate, for example, a consulting program when they're helping someone, I don't know, better with music or anything like that. avoid that shit. Otherwise, you'll be pretty broke. Fitness. Now, I know a lot of people go into fitness, but in my personal opinion, I don't see it being too high ticket. Yes, you can get some fitness coaches, which are pretty good, and they do charge high ticket, but most of them are like low ticket brokies. And like when you start charging $6,000, $8,000 to fitness coaches, they kind of like shit themselves a little bit. And then health coach, wellness, anything like that, which again, like manifestation, meditation coaches, there isn't that financial ROI, right? You're watching this video because you want to make more money. You're watching this video because you want to charge higher prices and you want to have more profit. That is everyone's biggest incentive. When you're selling someone on, for example, I'm going to help you get better at meditation or, better within your health, although that is desirable to a point, it's not as desirable as someone that helps people make 10K a month from dropshipping, helps people with social media, which then in turn gets the money, right? BizOp, YouTube automation, etc. So these are the type of niches you want to be going into, okay? Niches that actually help people, even a copywriting coach, right? People, someone that helps people make 10K a month with copywriting, whatever it is, it needs to be a business opportunity for the client. Now, when it comes to niches, it's very, very important that you know these 3 best niches here, because what you want to do is you want to start building leverage within your niche, okay? Now, as time goes on, you're going to get your main case study. So you can actually start charging these consistent high ticket 8K, 10K prices over and over again when you have this massive case study. This is going to allow you to have real market share, and it's going to allow you to have a stronger sales angle against your competitors. Because if, for example, you have business owner 1, business owner 2, business owner 1 is niche in trading, business owner 2 just kind of helps coaches and doesn't really have a case study. If you've got one of the best case studies within the game, right, and you approach trading coach, there is no way this person is ever going to choose business owner 1 versus business owner 2. And this is what you need to get into a position at ASAP before anyone else actually does, because you're going to be able to validate these prices, these 8, 10K prices every single month, because you're in the strongest niche. So some of the best niches, before we move on to how you should actually be structuring the offer, is 1, like I said, business opportunity. So whether it's someone that's helping someone with YouTube automation, or whether it's someone that's helping, with copywriting, whatever it is, it needs to be an explosive business opportunity. 2 is e-com. So e-com is very, very popular. It's like one of the probably the most viral business opportunity out there, even more than like SMMA and selling services. And then niche 3 is, I can just fucking do it, is trading. Okay, so this is the niche that I'm kind of in as well, just kind of like try and compete is cool. But this can be obviously very, very high FOMO, again, a business opportunity, etc., okay? So if you aren't going into these niches, you should be trying to dominate this if you want to build this offer ASAP. And this could be for kind of any offer that you choose to build. Now, when it comes to being able to actually validate a high ticket offer, because you're probably listening to this video, you're like, okay, sweet. So, I know I need to go to these companies. I know what I need to do. I know I need to charge high ticket. But every single time I price drop a 4K, or every single time I price drop a 5K, I can't seem to actually get the sale. And I'm going to be going over exactly why. So first of all, you have to understand how offers are kind of sold, right? Now, if you've watched like a ton of YouTube before, you were told that you just sold, for example, like Facebook ads to realtors, or, short form content, or whatever, right? These commoditized services that can be replaced by a $5 editor or a $200 a month media buy, right? Now, this is how I look at offers and how to be delivering. So let's say you want to help your client within the sales sector, right? Instead of just helping with sales or whatever, you actually structure many variables within the delivery to make it incredibly fucking valuable for your client, okay? So for example, if the client has a existing sales team with KPIs and analytics and all this kind of stuff, the first phase of your service is auditing the sales team, auditing the numbers, auditing the sales calls, auditing the fucking tracking, the entire infrastructure of that team's sales team. Now, the second thing you can do is you can place talent inside of the business. So placing closers, placing sales reps, giving them the SOPs, giving them the scripts, all this kind of stuff. Number 3 is you can help them actually train the sales team, okay? You can wrap them into KPI, and you can provide data tracking and reporting. Do you see how all of a fucking sudden this offer is actually valuable? This offer is actually worth $8,000. We've got clients selling this shit for $14K up front, right? Instead of just doing your bullshit service that you're currently doing. Now, let's say you have a skill in copywriting. Let's say you've done copywriting a little bit. You could be a little brokey, and you could be like, hey, I'm just going to do some copywriting for you and get bullied within the market. Or you could actually sell a copywriting system. So you could, audit the client's copy assets currently, so their email sequences, their funnel building, their headlines, everything within any piece of copy that they have. You can place skilled writers inside of the business. You can do weekly overviews on how copy was performing and actually provide those reports. You can build funnels, you can do data reporting and tracking, you can launch email conversion, you can do so fucking much, which again makes this offer valuable, okay? Same with content, right? Same with paid ads, same with funnel building, and same with appointment setting. Now, if you want to go to the next level, if you want to truly validate and stand out to, I'll be honest, many people watching this video who, will watch this video, they'll take advice, but they won't actually do this, is you can combine two sectors together, okay? So for example, for our offer, we combine a couple sectors. We do funnel building, we did appointment setting to actually get that 8.3K retainer, and we did sales. It's undeniable value because we're helping with the, and paid ads, right? So we're helping with the traffic, okay? We're helping with the conversion. We're helping with the optimization and kind of like structure with like funnel building and automations and stuff. And then we're helping with sales, right? Actual money in the bank. Now, how can you price this? Okay. Now, like I said, the most important thing for that's going to either make or break your ability to make money doing this is your cash collected and LTV. Okay. So let's say you're inexperienced. Let's say you've got zero experience. You say you've got zero clients. Okay. Then you need to be building, picking 1 to 2 sectors. Okay. Charging a 1 to 2K setup fee. Once the client gets a certain result, then you move to a retainer plus a performance fee. The only thing that you're optimizing for here, because as a beginner, if you've got zero experience, you've got zero clients, you are not going to go off the bat and start charging $8,000. Okay. You need the case study. Okay. Or you need some proof of concept that you know what you're talking about. Okay. If you have 6 months experience and 1 to 3 clients, you can go in straight away and be like, okay, I want the 3 to 4K setup fee. So my team can come in, they can build this all out. Obviously it takes a lot of time and your pitch is so advanced that the client is like, oh yeah, fair enough. Like you're fucking auditing the business. You're building tracking sheets. You're fucking doing all of this. Like fair enough. Like $4,000 actually makes sense. Instead of the people who are like, hey, I want $4,000 to like edit up 30 reels. That's not valuable to a business owner. If you were to come and pitch me that, it's very, very difficult for me to pay you. Okay. So exact same concept. Once the client makes a certain result, it can move to a retainer. So 2K a month, 3K a month retainer plus larger performance fee. And again, you're hunting for the case studies within your niche, within whatever creator niche that you're going after, so you can dominate market share and you can build a stronger sales angle. Now, if you have plus 6 months of experience to 2 years and you've worked with 10 plus clients before, you don't have to have 10 existing clients. You just kind of know what you're fucking talking about. If you sold a little bit before, you can go in and charge a 5 to 6K setup fee, and again they will pay this because again we're not doing what some of your competitors are doing where they're just charging this. We're actually going in and providing real fucking value, okay, which is what all my fucking clients do to actually get, for example, this is a 6K PIF, there's like a 7K US PIF, that's like dollars, that's like British pounds, 10K days, 14K deals up front. This wouldn't be possible without going in like this, right? So 5 to 6K setup fee. Once client makes investment back, a 3 to 4K retainer plus the profit share. Now, you have the setup fee phase, and this is the way you pitch it, okay? And without pitching it, you'll never be able to charge this high because you go and do everything and you get the result. And then once that result is pretty solidified, you've already built everything inside of the business where they can't really get rid of you. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense for them. It always needs to be a win-win situation in business, okay? Now, if you've got 2 years plus experience, if you have 2 years plus experience plus 20 clients, book a fucking call now because we can change whatever you're selling to bump up your price by 4K and fucking print sales. I'm not even just saying that, but you can go in, you can charge 8 to 14K up front, right? You can go straight into profit share and you can lock in minimum 3-month contracts because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be on this wheel where like the old model, for example, where I've got all these brokey clients who are actually like headaches and I'm only making 5K per month. Okay. Or you can have this model where one client has got like 9K a month, one client's like 10K a month, and then there's like 11K a month, right? And you have good eyes over these businesses and you're just providing more value for them instead of these guys who are headaches and they only pay you 5K a month because, like I said, tax exists and all this kind of shit where even though you might be getting like 2K a month retainers, and some of you can't even charge that, you're actually making like 750 a month. In business, you always have to actually understand how much money is coming into the bank account. Is this a scalable, is this a profitable business? And is this even fucking worth my time? Because I can guarantee a lot of people watching this video will ignore this, or they won't know how to do it, or they'll be arrogant, and you'll actually end up building a business that makes 0 cents, that doesn't actually cash flow, that doesn't actually net anything, and it's just fucking stressful, and you're just kind of doing it for the ego of having a business. Okay, that can't be you. Okay, now when it comes to pricing, if you want to price like a G, Okay. You need client results. You need a brand. You'll need sales ability, and you'll need good deliverables, like I've said. Now, you can get rid of, you don't, if you haven't got a case study, like I said, you're just going to have to work yourself back to go forward, which is completely fine because we're optimizing for the long term. And this is how my clients are printing 14K deals up front doing this, okay? And this is why this makes so much sense and why I get paid 8.3K from one single client and have payouts direct from Stripe like this. This is in British pounds. This is like, let me see, in USD, it's like 31,000, right? Because I can actually position an offer which makes sense for the client. My business thrives because we have cash flow to invest into new acquisition and we're scaling. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to reveal the niche that we did this in. We did this in the trading niche. Now, all of you guys, I don't suggest going into the trading niche and bombarding it, not even just saying that, but you have to be very, very skilled. I would look at untapped opportunities and try and build your leverage there. So if you want my personal one-on-one help to kind of build this out, we'll build out your offer, build out your acquisition, then check the video below, check out my client results, and yeah, we can talk very, very soon. But other than that, stop charging like a brokey because you're not actually going to get anywhere in a year. Start charging high ticket, go into good businesses, and we'll talk very soon. Go add me on Instagram as well. And yeah, talk